there's definitely something I would like to talk about. Personal opinions, being in the peanut gallery, I think. um, I don't know how folks really. I mean, I've been watching Caleb Hammer, and in the past, I've also watched a lot of financial audit, MSNBC. How like the young people with their various amounts of salary, annual salary, how they spend their money, and also for noticing that I do follow trends to a certain extent because I want to keep myself culturally aware about what's happening. And I do see, back then, I think when Cardi B was really hip, or even before her, Birkin bags were very popular. When I walk around New York City, especially the New York University area, loads of people are covered in brand name stuff, whether it's Chanel, Gucci, LV, Louis Vuitton, yes, Saint Laurent, um, Hermes, a lot of Prada stuff as well. I see that in my workplace as well, and I'm like, um, are we a little too? I mean, the granted, some of those stuff are really nice, and they do have a higher quality where they last longer if you take care of them. If you abuse them, they can't. They will still not last as long, right? But there's this trend of chasing um, luxury brands. And if it's not luxury brands, people pursue other ways of, entertainment. But a lot of the times, a lot of superficial stuff. Whether it's ordering really good food from fancy places or, you know, having the latest name brand bag or you name it. There's a lot of stuff, or electronics or anything like that, right? But there's definitely, I mean, granted, we are a capitalistic society. Buying stuff is a way of stimulating the economy, but I feel more and more people in the younger generation. I mean, even at my age, I'm 35. I do see people still pursuing those stuff. And it's sometimes at the detriment of themselves, not saving for spending a good chunk of money, not saving for retirement, which is no longer, I guess, hip. um, I mean, there are quite a few young people also that are very money and financially savvy, that are thinking forward. But if you're screwed up when you have student debt, student loan debt, or credit card debt, and you're still spending the way you do, and eating the way you do, I'm not asking people to what Dave Ramsey does, which is like beans and rice. That's 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 not that is sacrifice, but at the same time, that's self torture, and you're gonna end up burning yourself out faster if you're not able to find small pleasures in life, right? It's a matter of being able to do a marathon and keep it going. So, with that being said, though, but there are the extremes where people are just buying luxury brands, and knowing the history behind the luxury brands, or the recent coverage like Balenciaga with their trying to push out a children's brand, and ended up having all these really troublesome or problematic themes in their pictures, whether it's in regards to pedophilia or all sorts of BDSM with a child, themes in a child poster, which is really crazy. But people are still tracing those trends, right? People are still wearing those brands. Celebrities are still endorsing those brands, which is also problematic in itself. That says a lot about those celebrities. Um, and then knowing that these folks have themselves steep into a world where certain things can be abused, because I'm not saying that for everybody, but there are some or a good number of wealthy people out there that don't have the best intentions at heart, and they know they could get away with it. So keeping those in mind, would I really want to, it's a personal choice obviously, but would I want to continue to feed into those industries, continue to line those people's pockets where they can continue to manipulate the system and perpetuate these types of trends that are not healthy, for a lot of individuals, but at times at the sacrifice, at the jeopardy of people's futures. That's something to kind of think about. I think there's nothing wrong with living a humble life. There is nothing wrong with living a frugal life sometimes. Kind of find deals where you can. You can still enjoy luxury brands, but not buying them on a constant basis, trying to chase trends. But maybe like using eBay to buy a secondhand bag, where it's like a little bit cheaper, or buying there. I think there's this website that actually has like luxury brands where people resell them, and they're verified. If you don't want to make sure you don't get gypped, because sometimes when you're purchasing things on eBay, you really need to know who the buyer is, like who the seller is, and making sure that they got a good reputation in order for you to make that purchase. All right, so there's definitely that. Or maybe, not worrying about whether it's coming from the luxury place, not going to Macy's or Bloomingdale's or any of those places, or going to Fifth Avenue in New York City to get those luxury brands, making maybe like buying a bag every 5 or 10 years, because those luxury brands, those bags should last a very long time. I have a Ralph Lauren bag that I bought quite a few years ago, still going good, still great, and I take very good care of my bag, and it cost me a good $110, mind you. It's I could afford more, but doesn't necessarily mean I need to. And the bag is lovely. It's a crossbody bag, and I still use it on a other daily basis. I use an Amazon bag that I got really good quality still, but it lasts and it serves its purpose. It's a backpack that I can take to work, carry stuff in it. So there's really, I think you gotta think from a utility standpoint. Is it really worth it? What's more important right now in your household? Buying a pair of Prada shoes, or making sure that you got money saved away for an emergency fund, or if you get sick the next time and you need to make sure you have enough money for that copay or doctor's visit, which is more important? Being able to eat a proper human diet, or buying a luxury brand, which at the end of the day can't really feed you. Gotta make your call. It's very much a personal choice, right? You gotta make your call. I, for one, am against it. I will say that. Maybe that's why I admit it. That's why I did this video. But I'm not trying to convince anybody at the same time. I just want to talk about my opinions. So there you go.